Hey, it's your boy Easy, and on today's episode of Easy Opens, we're going to be taking a look at Neca's Mirage Comics, Baxter Stockman. Baxter first appeared in Eastman and Laird's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles #2 from October 1984. A brilliant 36-year-old scientist sociopath who is contracted by the city of New York to use his mousers to rid the city of their rat problem, but then quickly uses them to steal money and gets the turtles involved when the mousers wreck their home and try to eat their dad, Splinter. Also, evil as shit, just in case you were wondering. Also, originally an African-American man, as presented here, in the comics as well, and most every other iteration of him, with the exception of the 1987 animated series, and that is because they didn't really want the bad guy to be a black guy, so they made one of the only black persons of color in the entire show, a white guy, being accidentally racist as fuck. Goodness. So box art looks great here as per usual, so you know what you're getting, but let's get this figure free from its plastic prison and see what we think about Baxter Stockman. So y'all, this figure looks fantastic, feels fantastic. Neca did a great job here, just fresh out the box. He looks just like he does in the comics, and it's kind of freaky because when you see Baxter in the comics, you kind of have a idea that something's not gonna go well for the turtles or someone you care about in the comics. It's not gonna end well, and it's gonna be a mess. And I kind of am triggered by this figure, if I'm being honest. But regardless of all that, he looks excellent and feels great. The paint on mine looks pretty flawless on first inspection, and I am just really happy with what they're giving us here in this comic line, just in general, but also here with Baxter. Like this is really awesome, and he is a welcome addition to the villain shelf for this collection. The sculpt looks really good. Everything about him, like, granted, he looks just like a normal human being. Like, there's nothing fancy about what he's got on, like his suit or he doesn't have a super powered suit, is what I'm trying to say, or any kind of like accessories outside of the his glasses. But the sweater looks good. The pants look good. He does look like he has some swelling in the ankles, though, but I think that's just the joints there. I don't think that's a health issue that he needs to be concerned about, but who knows? They are a little high, though, so like I don't know if he's tucked them under his like inside his pants, which is I don't recall that being the fashion of the time back in the 80s, but I was just a baby back then, so I don't know. If you know if this was a fashionable thing to do, tucking the pant leg in instead of out, like rolling it up, let me know in the comments. But his shoes look really cool and just very simple but nice looking figure, and I'm very happy with this. So Baxter comes with 2 interchangeable heads, a large computer that is just way too big, but still really cool. A thing that I'm not sure what it is exactly. It's probably something from the comics because Neca does that, and having a Turtles podcast, I probably should know this, and I'm going to try to look this up in post and see if I can figure this out. But as of recording the audio of this is not triggering anything for me in my memory. But if let me know in the comments. He also comes with 6 interchangeable hands, and most notably among all of those hands, a very declarative pointing index finger hand, which is awesome, and I'm super excited about that. And then he also comes with a mouser, which is fantastic, and I hope that they continue to include a few mousers here and there with some of the other figures, like especially any human characters. I think that's a neat little accessory that you could just give us more of the same thing, and that adds to the collection, and it's just a great little pack in, so that's really rad. All right, now let's take a look at the articulation you're going to get out of Baxter Stockman, or Stockman, however you say it. Starting at the head, you get 360 at the neck, which is cool because he's got an alternate head, so you can wiggle it around side to side, front to back. He's got a little bit of looking up action going on, and he can look down quite a bit. He's got 360 at the shoulder, as well as some up and down, but mine tends to be a little bit impeded by his sweater up there. Then you have double jointed elbows. Actually, is that quadruple jointed elbows? Let's see that. Let's see if I can get a better picture of that. Because I mean, it bends there and it bends there, so that's kind of neat. And so yeah, there you go. Now you can see the joint. So that's what he's got going on in the elbow area, and that's pretty cool. 360 at the top part and 360 at the bottom. Let's see. Oh yeah, we got 360 at the bottom part of the arm as well as the top part of the arm. So that's pretty cool. I don't think I've noticed that on any figures before. So that's I don't know, that's kind of neat. And then you get 360 at the wrist as well as a hinge there for some different wrist action. And that's that. Then in the chest, it's all impeded by the sweater, but I do believe there is a little bit of ab crunch there, but I don't know. It feels like there's something there, but you're not going to get much out of it. 360 at the waist. His legs can go out a decent amount. He is impeded by his pants right there, which is a softer rubber, but you know, you can, I don't know how many times Baxter does a split in the comics. I don't think very often, but nevertheless, it's available if you need to, just at least that far. And then you got some thigh swivel at the upper thigh. You got double jointed knees, and then you have an ankle rocker, which is great. And you got an ankle hinge, which, you know, for all those dancing moves that Baxter does to get out of trouble and get away from the Turtles and Shredder and become just evil as shit. So, yeah, I think that is all the articulation that you're going to get out of Baxter Stockman. Hold on, does his glasses go up? Nope, those are glued on. So, yeah, no, there's no articulation there. So, yeah, that's it. According to Turtlepedia, Baxter Stockman stands at 5'10" and weighs 165 pounds. This figure stands at 6.25 inches tall and weighs around 2.5 ounces. So now let's see how he compares to some other figures you might have in your collection. Here he is with Neca's Irma and Baxter the Fly Stockman from the 1987 animated series line. And just want to say that I'd mentioned in the articulation section that I hadn't seen the elbow joint that he has, but actually I think Irma does have the same thing, so there's that. Here he is with the Neca Return to New York 4-pack Donatello and the Neca 1987 animated series Donatello. Here he is with the Neca knockoff colored bandana Mirage Comics Donatello and the Super 7 TMNT Ultimates Donatello. Here he is with Jada Toys Mega Man and Marvel Legends Wolverine. Here he is with NECA's Alf and SH Figuarts Kamen Rider Geats. Here he is with Figma's Link and Jada Toys Kin Masters. Here he is with NECA's Mirage Comics Casey Jones and NECA's Mirage Comics Shredder. And here he is with Jakks Pacific's Agent Peely and Mattel's Masterverse Hordak. So the early Mirage comics were just great and wild. They were throwing all kinds of stuff at the wall just to see what would stick and doing crazy things, and it was a lot of fun. And Baxter comes in the second issue, all evil as shit, and is just amazing, just like threatening to like shrink the city and these different buildings if he didn't get like the money that he wanted and all this stuff like that. So just classic villainy, but still just super evil. And especially when he sends the Mousers after April and the Turtles and all that, it's just a downhill kind of, you know, ride from there. But like, he's the type of character that steals your breath away because seeing them always means that bad news is happening for someone in the book. Like, it's never a good sign when Baxter shows up. Now, I do have a nostalgic appreciation for the 1987 animated series White Baxter Stockman from the cartoon, but more of that is due to his Fly incarnation. I just appreciated that. The sniveling, just super annoying characterization of him in that cartoon, I could care less for. I could not care less for, actually. Like, because I cared zero. So, yeah. But this version is just perfect. And NECA did an amazing job with this figure. And they encapsulated the just the evilness in him. Or at least it's probably just me that I'm just triggered by this character. But still, like the fact that he looks so much like the character in the comics as he's supposed to, and that he evokes the same like emotional responses that seeing the character on the pages does. I mean, that's a testament to a great figure. And so what's great about him and the way that they designed him is that he goes extremely well with the comic line. So like the Foot Soldiers, Shredder, Splinter, Casey Jones, and the Turtles. But he can also go with the animated series line, at least the humanoid characters, like, April, at least April 2.0, Irma, the Channel 6 news team, even with the Turtles themselves, like he's about the right height for them. So it still works, even though some of his look is a little bit odd. It's not totally unusable, but the height of Baxter compared to the Turtles really helps to marry those two lines together if need be. And so unfortunately with that, he doesn't seem to work, or at least for me, with the Return to New York Turtles because they're so tall. But that's more the Turtles' fault than Baxter, because that's just the way Jim Lawson drew them. So, But up until now, I'd been using the Sam Jackson Ray Arnold figure from the Jurassic Park line as a stand-in for the comic accurate Baxter. And he still works if you're going for a more realistic look, like something just a little bit more, less cartoony, if you will. But if you're going for a more comic animated version, this one works perfectly well and will totally do the trick for you if you had a Baxter stand-in scientist character already. He's just a guy. He's just a guy, but like a very evil guy. But he works so well, and I'm very happy to have him in my collection. I'm also very happy to have another Mouser in my collection that he came with. And based on from what I can tell, the other Mouser that came with, I can't remember right now who this came with. I'm probably going to have to put it in post when I look it up. But the other pack-in Mouser that we got from this line is identical to the Mouser that comes with Baxter. The only difference that I'm noticing is slight paint coloration difference. Like, and at this point, they're so similar that I don't remember which one came first, which one came, with Baxter, and which one came with whatever other figure this one came with. So yeah, so that's how similar they are. And I am 1000% about that, and so happy to have Mousers in here, because yes, I would probably end up buying a Mouser pack because those are cool, but like, I don't necessarily want to, because if they can fit it in a figure and just charge maybe like $3 more for this figure, then yeah, I'll do that. And I think that's one thing that they could do to help sell some of the other humanoid characters that might not normally sell on their own. And I just think that's a really good way to do that, to incentivize people to collect them all, if you will. And so Baxter, being the creator of the Mousers, certainly had to come with one. So that's cool. But you need a whole army of these things because they're just menacing. But undoubtedly, my favorite thing about this figure are the extra hands. Subscribers and longtime viewers of the channel will know that one of my biggest wants out of every action figure that gets released, I really want them to always have a dedicated pointing hand, like with an extended index finger that is just very declarative and very accusatory, and just I don't know. There's just something so powerful about having a hand with the extended index finger. I don't care which hand it is, left or right. It doesn't matter. As long as we get one, and we get one with Baxter, and it's one of his left hands. And it's so awesome. And it just adds like a whole extra level of posing and creativity with the shots that you can do with it, because it's just, I don't know, it's just a pointing hand. It just does so much. But then the other hand that I'm really happy with is his right hand, that's just like it's grasping something that's not there, or it could be there. It could be like a severed head, or like, a grapefruit, or, a globe. What else do people grab? Like a handful of nuts. Like, I don't know. Like a handful of jelly beans, like all kinds of stuff you can do with that holding hand. But it also, when you turn it around, it just makes him look so evil. And I'm just very happy with the hand selection that Neca gave us with this figure. And I know it doesn't seem like much, but for me, it just makes a world of difference. I really don't have any negative things to say about Baxter. His accessories are really cool, like the computer and then the shrunken building and all that is legit. The mouser is awesome. And then, like I said just a second ago, all the extra hands and the extra head, like all of that's fantastic. And so, yeah, if you're looking for a comic accurate black Baxter Stockman, this one is fantastic and will definitely not disappoint. If you are looking to add another super evil villain to your Turtles villain shelf, then Baxter will make an excellent addition because, I mean, do you even have a Ninja Turtles villain shelf if you don't have Baxter Stockman on there? I don't think so. If you like collecting action figures that are just looking like normal people, just everyday people, no superpowers, no nothing, just pants, shoes, socks, and a sweater vest with a collar. Not a sweater vest, that's a whole ass sweater actually. Then Baxter Stockman will fit that mold nicely. He'll just fit right in with the rest of your community shelf or whatever you want to call it. Or if you have a shelf dedicated to black comic characters who are super awesome, albeit this one particularly evil, then Baxter Stockman will totally fit in there as well. Or if you need another mouser for your mouser collection, then you can get a mouser with a pack-in Baxter Stockman figure if that's the way you want to look at it. All right, well, that's going to do it for me today. Thanks so much for watching. If you liked what you saw, hit the like button. If you want to see more from me, hit subscribe and let me know in the comments what's your favorite version of Baxter, because he has been in almost every iteration of the Ninja Turtles. I would have loved to have seen what him and Dr. Queese would have done from Next Mutation. That would have been a weird, interesting pairing. But Dr. Queese was cool, but nowhere near as evil as Baxter Stockman. But I want to know what you think. What's your favorite Baxter Stockman iteration? And what did you think about this figure? And just tell me all your thoughts on Baxter and the Ninja Turtles. And until then, else time.